Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. It's a nice day. It's been a little chilly, but I figured we would come out here and make a little video. What do y'all think? Y'all excited for this? Don't get too excited. Well, unless you like really clean chainsaws, then get excited because I got something for you guys. I know you've been waiting for it. I'm lingering around. Just calm down. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna get to see it, trust me. Don't wanna overexcite you. I wanna kinda build a little suspense real quick. But anyway, past week or so, I've been doing some wheeling and dealing. Been trolling the local marketplace and my usual, daily search for chainsaws like I always do. And I've just happened to find a beauty or two. And I thought that you might like to see it. So, without further ado, let me introduce y'all to my two new chainsaws. They're not brand new, they're new to me. But they're almost like new. So, are you ready? Here we go. I'm gonna turn y'all around. We're gonna introduce you to the chainsaws. Whoa, look at that. Okay. I know you can tell what it is. If you can't, there you go. Husqvarna 390 XP. Isn't that a pretty saw? So clean. Not really, it's actually dirty, but this is the way that I got it. Minus taking the air nozzle and blowing it off just a smidge. Yep, it's a Husqvarna 390. Nothing special unless you like Husqvarna 390s. 390 88 cc's. This is a 2014 model. Low hour saw, as you can tell. It's not been abused. It's got a few scuffs and scratches. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a really nice clean saw overall. Now I am gonna wash this thing up a little bit. We haven't done that yet. We've been busy with another project, which I'm gonna show y'all also, but maybe in a separate video. But anyway, you can see the muffler. It's got a couple little dents in it, but not much, not major. Still got most all the paint on it. Front of the cases are nice. They're not all worn. A lot of times people wear the ridges off the front of the cases and stuff from butter knifing the saw, as I call it, because you got a dull chain. I don't like that. But anyway, nonetheless, it's a very clean, low hour saw. We'll pop the top for you. Let you see underneath. I can do this with my fingers, it just hurts, so I try not to. I usually like to use a screwdriver for this. This cover fits very tightly because it's still new. It's still like a new saw. Air filter's nice and clean, as y'all can tell. It's not dark and dirty and covered in 17 pounds of dirt and grease and grime from not ever cleaning it for 37 months. But anyway, original. Nothing special, just the standard HD filter. And y'all can see underneath here, it's all nice and clean, minus a few little, little bits of sawdust. But again, it's a chainsaw. It's not perfect. It has cut wood, so it's gonna have a little dirt on it. But like I say, we are gonna wash it. Yeah. So anyway, that is the new, to me, Husqvarna 390 XP. Get on there. Sit down right. Come on. Stop acting like a fool. Come on. Get on there. Yeah. Come on. Sit like you're supposed to. This thing's tight, like I said, y'all. It's like a new saw. Oh, there's the problem. We got a clip in the way. It ain't gonna go in there like that. There it is. All right. Things you don't pay attention to while you're holding the camera in one hand and messing with a chainsaw in the other. These are problems we have. But anyway, as you can see, it's not perfect, but overall it's a really clean saw. Pretty low hour. Piston cylinder look like new. It still has the shipping sticker on the bottom of it. A lot of times that's the first thing to get worn off from sitting on the ground in the gravel on the concrete and vibrating for 37 days. But other than that, she's a pretty clean, low-hour saw. If you like Huskies, these are great saws. The old 385 XP, a lot of guys liked them just a touch better for very specific reasons. One being that some guys claimed that they had a little less vibration than the 390s, were a little better balanced, but overall they're pretty much the same exact chainsaw. Top ends are interchangeable. Usually what happens is if a 385 blows up, you can't get 385 top ends anymore. People put 390 top ends on them anyway, so a lot of times that's what ends up happening. So anyway, 385 is a great saw. As y'all can see, I haven't even put a bar on it yet. Haven't even touched a stitch of wood with this saw yet. You're looking at it as it came, like I said, other than me blowing it off just a smidge. Now, enough on this saw. Let me show you the pride and joy, the one that you've came here for, the one that you really want to see. Ta-da! Check it out. Look at this beautiful, beautiful MS 440. Such a beautiful saw, isn't it? This thing is mint. I mean, it has, you know, a little bit of paint worn off the handle. It's got a scuff on the top cover here, but that might actually come off because that's just, yep, it's actually, look at that. It's coming off right now, and I'm just rubbing that with my fingernail. Look at that. That's just grease, dirt. It still has the falling line. It's all nice and black. You can still see that very clear. MS 440, 100% OEM, untouched, unscathed. MS 440. Got one little paint spot right here, and right here. Other than that, one little spot there. But the cases aren't all worn and beat up, as you can tell. Original double OEM fallen spikes, OEM 3/4 wrap. The rubber's in really nice shape. Other than the paint, like I said, the paint peels off. These are aluminum handles, so it's hard to keep paint on aluminum. If you use it, it's gonna get wear on it. This saw here, like I say, it's untouched too. I have not cleaned it. It's dusty. It was in a garage. I asked the guy, I said, "Are you the original owner of this saw?" He said no, but he did buy it off the original owner. And he had a wood boiler, and all he ever used it for was to cut a little firewood for a wood boiler. He had some other saws, so he didn't use this one a lot. He said he only used this one when he had a little bit bigger wood. He had some other steel he didn't show me, didn't tell me, so I don't know what it was. But he did show me the chains because he gave me a couple extra chains for this saw. And it was like 325 or something small, so apparently he had a, you know, a much smaller, lighter chainsaw. And he was an older gentleman, so I'm sure he much preferred to run that over this, is why this saw doesn't have a whole lot of wear and abuse, which thankfully for me makes a beautiful MS 440 for a collection. It does have a little bit of paint splatter here, which kind of annoys me, but we might be able to get that off somehow or another. But like I said, we've not touched either one of these saws on cleaning. Like I said, all I did was take the air nozzle and blow that one off, untouched. This is the way it was when I received them. The 3/4 wrap's not bent, beautiful shape. A lot of times these get bent. It's got the OEM original steel factory West Coast wide clutch cover, whatever you want to call it. I call them the West Coast cover or the wide clutch cover. They look real good. You can tell it's the wide clutch cover because it's got that flare out at the bottom, and it sticks out a little further from the saw, which helps with chip clearance and things like that. And if you're one of those guys that likes to noodle or play around, these don't tend to clog quite as easy. So that's the benefits of having a wide clutch cover. These are often faked along with the 3/4 wrap. This is the aftermarket. There's a big, there's a lot of big aftermarket parts out there for these kind of saws. So a lot of times if you see one on a saw, it's probably aftermarket. These OEM parts are becoming harder to find, and they are getting more and more expensive. So thankful that this saw has all of that on it already. It came with this just standard 25-inch steel bar. The way you see it, have not tightened the chain or anything. We've only fired this thing up once. We fired it up the night we bought it, and that was it. This one I found local. It was about 45 minutes away from me, so it was cool and nice to find that local to me, because honestly I see a lot of chainsaws, you know, local, but rarely do they pop up in this good a shape, and especially with the 3/4 wrap, because these are not very common on the East Coast. I've had several people, when I sell chainsaws local or anything, always ask me, what's that funky looking handle on that saw? Why is that funky looking handle on that chainsaw? What's that for? Well, all you guys probably know, so I don't have to explain that. But here on the East Coast, you know, they're not as common. Most all my saws have them because I love them. All my fallen saws anyway, all my main saws usually. If there's a full wrap available, I try to get one. Try to stick to all OEM stuff too, because it's just better. Nothing wrong with aftermarket, not knocking aftermarket, but OEM quality is better if you can get it. It fits better, and there's a million different reasons we're not going to get into. But anyway, let's pop the air filter cover off, shall we? Y'all want to see underneath the hood? Check that out. Like I say, I've not even blown this off yet. Fits nice and snug like a brand new saw. Still got the spit back foam in the filter. Still got the pre-filter on it. I would pull this pre-filter off, but it's probably, oh, y'all can see it. You can barely see it there. You can see the foam's real nice in there. It's nice and clean. I'm not going to take it all the way off because they're kind of a pain to get back on, especially when they're nice and tight like this one is, like they're supposed to be. All the mounts are nice and soft. They're nice and, you know, they're not all soft and worn out like a lot of them are. It's real clean. There's no dirt in there, no sawdust. It's real clean saw. Real clean saw. It is a 440, so it's got the factory flippy caps. 044s had the screw-ons. OEM Elastistar original. There's the underneath. Got a little bit of wear on the handle, as you can see. Got a little bit of wear. Nothing major. This thing hadn't spent a whole lot of time on the ground idling and being beat around. Big, wide, nice chip flap, still in good shape. Tank protector still on it. Beautiful, beautiful saw, made in Germany. Yep, came with this 25-inch bar. And if y'all are still watching, I'll show you what else I have with this saw. So stay tuned. All right, y'all ready to see the rest of this? Y'all ready to see the rest of what I got with this thing? Nothing too exciting, but interesting if you're a saw collector. So first order of business, gallon of bar oil. Guy gave me a gallon of bar oil with the thing. It's old school Istica. This was pretty good stuff, pretty popular back in the day because it was pretty cheap and it worked. It had the tacky additive and it stayed on your bar well. Worked good. A lot of guys use this, especially in my area. Nothing special there. It was almost full, about 3/4 full, but I've used a little bit of it in the last day or two in some saws. Gave me this old vintage steel 2-cycle oil. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to see an old vintage bottle set. I don't really use this stuff, but we might use it anyway since we got it. Use it up in some saws that we fix up and sell, because y'all know price is getting expensive, so anything we can get is better than nothing, right? There's only one bottle missing. These are 2.5 gallon bottles, 50 to 1. I don't mix mine 50 to 1 though, so we'll have to use the ratio right and make it 40, but no big deal there. And most important thing we got, the best of the best other than the chainsaw, check it out. Look at this. Look at this. Everybody just look at it. Would you just look at it? Check that out. How often do you get a manual? The original manual with a chainsaw when you buy one used. Not very often, right? I'm trying to get this open, but it's actually sealed quite well. So let me set y'all down for 1 second. We'll take this thing out. All right, we got it out. Check that out. Got a little bit of bar roll on it. Not perfect. It's not perfect, but look at it. I think this thing spent some time in a carrying case or something, because it's got a little bar roll. But hey, that'll help preserve the pages, right? Check it out. I'm just quickly flipping through this thing, because y'all probably know what a manual looks like if you've ever bought a new chainsaw. Maybe some of y'all bought a chainsaw that came with a manual. But I don't know, not very often I buy a chainsaw that comes with a manual. It's just pretty cool. Usually chainsaws change hands 100 times before they ever make it to me. Usually by the time they get to me, they're almost dead, or they are dead, and we have to fix them. So it's nice to get some that aren't. Look, right there, it's telling you how to clean the air filter the proper way. Check that out. Pretty cool, ain't it? Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. Y'all all know what manuals look like, but it's just still cool. I like these old orange manuals that used to come with these. I think they're all white now if you buy a chainsaw. So it's cool to see one that's old and orange. Anything like that's considered vintage these days. That is the Steel MS 440. Very, very cool saw. 71 cc's of pure 2-stroke power. Oh, I'm sure y'all are probably wondering what the date of this thing is. Let's get the date on this thing real quick while we're here. Manufactured date 04 of 01. April of 01 this thing was made. So she's 20 plus years old. Still looking good. Like I said, the guy gave me several chains with it too. I think there's one in there that's almost new, and it's a pro chain, or a, well, I think it's a pro chain. Anyway, it's full chisel, and I don't think it has safety rakers on it like this one does. This is semi chisel with the funky safety rakers, slow kickback rakers on it. So that's coming off, and we're gonna put a real chain on it. And if y'all want to see, we might make a cut or two with this thing before I clean it up. I'd like to do it now before we clean it up. I don't have any really good wood. It's just some old dead pine that blew over last week or so with this rain and wind we've been having here. So don't get too excited, because like I say, the wood's not the best, but I'm going to show y'all how this thing runs, because I know you want to see it. I have not adjusted on the carburetor, not done anything. Only thing I did do, I dumped the gas out of this thing, because that's one thing I always do when I get a chainsaw. I don't know what somebody's been running for mix. I don't know anything about that. So the first thing I do is dump their gas out, put my gas in it. That way I know there's no water in it. I know it's fresh, and I know what the mix ratio is. So when I start adjusting the carburetor on any chainsaw, not just this one, I know for a fact that it's on point with the way that I like my chainsaws. So that's the only thing we've done to this thing. So we're gonna get this chain swapped over and we'll make a cut with it. We might even throw a bar on that beauty over there, because it's dirty too. And I'm gonna clean, like I say, I'm gonna clean both of these up, but we might throw a bar on that thing and see how it runs too while we're at it, because I'm sure y'all want to see that thing run too. So anyway, get y'all set up on the tripod here and grab a chain, and we'll get these things set up. Better than nothing. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 30, be a new Alrighty, y'all. I don't know how much of this y'all gonna see because I might be in the way. I might be standing in the way for part of it. But I'll try to let y'all see. Y'all seen me swap. Y'all seen plenty of bar changes. Everybody knows how to swap a bar on a chainsaw. So anyway, I'm gonna use the nice rusty scrinch that came with the manual because it's right here in front of me. Ooh, somebody's got them tight. Good and tight. Ooh, that's a little too tight. Original bar nuts too, and you know how I know that? Because they're gold in color. Gold in color, that's how you know. This clutch cover off. Ooh, it's nice and clean under there. Check that out. Take this old chain off. This looks like a brand new Oregon non-safety chain. Looks like an EXL or something like that. So it came with it. Looks to be brand new. Looks to be fairly sharp. So we're gonna put that on it. Bar rail's got a little wear on it. It's got a lip on it. Don't have no way to file it right this moment. So we're gonna just flip the bar because it looks like it's never ever been flipped before. And we're gonna put it on the chainsaw. But first off, I'm gonna clean the bar rails and then I'll bring y'all back. Oh. All right, so we got the bar rails all cleaned out, got the bar ready to go on. But before I put it on, I just wanted to show y'all real quick the side of this thing. Look at all that. She's clean. She's got a little oil on her, but look at that. No chain rash. Don't look like it's ever even thrown a chain, guys, because there's usually chain rash and everything. It's usually scuffed up real bad. And this thing is excellent. Even the chain roller on the clutch cover is in good shape. So I just wanted to point that out for anybody that was curious. I know I would be. All right, so we're gonna put the bar on upside down. We're gonna flip it because you're supposed to do that. Nobody ever does, but anyway. 3/8 7-pin sprocket, factory. Some people run 8 pins. I prefer the standard 7. It just, I think an 8, unless you're running a really, really short bar, cutting softwood or something, an 8-pin will drag a saw down a little more think you can, I mean, sometimes it'll make them faster, but you know, sometimes it won't. I just prefer to stick with a 7 most of the time. Alright, I like to pop these up like this because it helps keep everything on while we slip the clutch cover on real quick. There we go. Bar nut's back on. Yeah, I know the chain's not tight yet. I always like to get my clutch cover put on because I like to hold everything in place so I'm not fighting myself. Just makes life a little easier. Actually, chain tension's not bad. Spin it over just a little bit. Yeah, chain tension's not bad. We're gonna roll with that. Sorry for the background noise, y'all. Got road right in front of the house. People like to drive up and down the road real fast. Nice and snug. Check it one more time, make sure she still spins good. Tension's good. I'll go a little tight because I think this chain's new and it's probably going to stretch a little bit. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna save y'all the pain and misery of putting on another barn chain. I'm gonna get the barn chain put on the 390, make sure we got gas and oil in both, and we'll bring you back when we're at the log. All right, y'all. Some of y'all may remember, I got a video on the channel. If you ain't seen it, go back and watch it. Poland 4000 fell in a tree. I think I had a 020T and some other stuff. Cutting down a tree over here in this area. Old dead pine tree. Cut that one right there where the stump is several years ago. That was the first of 4 trees. I cut 3 of them, and then this one here was the last one on my side of the fence, and it just fell last week when we had that rainstorm. Like I said, not the best of wood, but this is all we got right now, so it's gonna have to do. Y'all are just gonna bear with me. It's not a very good test of these saws. I know it's very small wood and it's dead, but at least y'all will get to hear the saws run, and we can check the tunes on them. That's the main thing, is just putting them under a little bit of a load to check the tune. Anyway, they're both stone cold, have not been fired up. Bar choice on the 390 was a 32 full house steel chain, ground by my buddy Kevin Jackson. So Kevin, if you're watching, thank you. Just a round ground, but anyway, it's a bar I had laying around, wasn't on anything, so we slapped it on there, and here we are. So without further ado, we're gonna get both of these fired up, get them warmed up, make a few cuts with them. What do y'all think? All right, y'all. Y'all can see these two saws run beautiful. This is really not a good test at all. It just zips right through that old dead stuff, but it sure is fun. Sure is fun to zip through that old dead pine. Both saws are cutting great. That is a brand new chain, y'all. Did figure that out. 440's got a brand new chain, so thankful for that. Cuts pretty good on the stock saw. Can't beat it. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all on this one, y'all guys. 390 XP and the beautiful 440. Let me know what y'all think. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thinking about doing a comparison of the 440 and the beautiful old 044 I have. Sure y'all seen it in previous videos. If you hadn't, go check that out. I think the title of the video is legendary steel 044 slant fin 10mm saw. So if y'all hadn't seen that video, go check that out. It's right after I got that saw. It was untouched, unscathed. So yeah, if y'all want to see a comparison of that and the 440, let me know down in the comments. Also, we can do a video on the 390 versus 385 XP. I got a 385 also that's in just as good a shape, or maybe a little nicer than the 390. So we can do a comparison video of that too if y'all want to see that. So check that down in the comments as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you ain't already for more content. If you like this kind of stuff, saw comparisons, saw porting, running saws, cutting trees, cutting wood, firewood, and whatever other wild stuff we can get into, because that's why I named the channel Drew's Creations. It's not just chainsaws. It's whatever I may be doing. Most of the time it's messing with chainsaws, because that's what I enjoy most. If y'all enjoy this content, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe like I said. Hit the bell for notifications if you want more. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Over and out.